Welcome to the Nagual Zone, Anaam here. I want to tell you about one of the greatest blessings that a warrior can receive from the eagle or existence. You know what that is? Can you guess? There are many, many blessings we receive, but one of the greatest ones is the petty tyrant. So if you have a petty tyrant in your life, you have a boss, you have a job, you have your mom-in-law or your spouse or your children. Usually people switch roles. They become, sometimes they are petty tyrants, then they're not petty tyrants. But there are certain petty tyrants that are steadily, they are for you. They are your petty tyrant. It may be your sibling that you never got along with, your dad or whatever. The average man sees them as minor irritations at best or real enemies. But the warrior sees them as blessings. Blessings. You know why? I'll tell you why. And you won't find this in any Castaneda book. You won't find this wisdom in any book you may have read, or because this is an insight reserved for really trained professional warriors. So here is it. What a petty tyrant does to the warrior, the petty tyrant acts as a separator. What do I mean by that? It acts as a catalyst to separate two very, very important things inside of you. Eventually, with strategic employment of certain attributes within you, in dealing with the petty tyrant, hint, hint, lots of training is involved. Formal training from a benefactor, not just reading books. By employing those attributes in a strategic way towards the petty tyrant, something amazing will happen within you. And this can take anything from weeks to months to years sometimes. And that amazing thing is, hopefully, I'm assuming that one has worked on accumulating, cultivating a huge reservoir of inner silence by then. Yeah? Otherwise, there's no way to deal with the petty tyrant. You forget about it. In your fantasies, it'll be nice, but nothing will happen. Once that huge reservoir of inner silence has been attained, and you can at will dip into it, at will, no matter what the situation. Here's what the petty tyrant will do to you. Eventually, just like butter separates from milk, or oil. If you put oil in water and you shake it, and then over time the oil will separate and the water will separate. It's the same thing. The petty tyrant will act as that catalyst, where in the average man, the pool of inner silence, which is abysmally small anyway, the head is so filled with just garbage and incessant, relentless content, mindless content from the foreign installation, encroaches upon the pool of inner silence to the point where there's nothing left. In the average man, that's the case. In the warrior, it separates the vagaries of the personality, which means whether you're happy or sad or feeling frustrated with your boss or your petty tyrant, a job can be a petty tyrant, a situation can be a petty tyrant. Whether you're feeling angry, you're feeling rage, you're feeling happy, you're feeling sad, you're feeling miserable, you're feeling this and you're feeling lonely and the vagaries of the personality, the comings and goings of your personality. It will very clearly separate the lake of awareness within you, pure awareness, which is the same as inner silence, really. They're kind of intertwined. And the comings and the goings and the electric shocks and the currents and the dramas and the entertainments of your personality. That's what the petty tyrant does to the warrior. That's why the warrior seeks petty tyrants out, not like a fool just going and provoking people, But if there's a petty tyrant in your life, consider it one of the greatest blessings you could have. The only problem is you don't have the training. You don't have the training to know what to do with it, right? It's like, let's say, I could give you all the equipment that the diver uses. I could give you the mask and put the costume onto you, put flippers on your feet, and the tanks on your back, everything, and I could chuck you down, throw you into the water. If you've never done diving before, or even if you have and you're not really trained, you wouldn't know what to do. You really wouldn't know what to do with that equipment. But a trained professional diver, they will know exactly what to do. Even if they fell on board with all that equipment, they know exactly what to do. It's the same thing. It's a matter of training. So the average man doesn't know what to do with the petty tyrant. So they end up losing so much energy over it. Precious energy, right? And creating codependent attachments with the petty tyrant. But the warrior uses the petty tyrant to their advantage to catapult them to the next stage of their evolution, to separate that lake of awareness within them with the comings and goings of their personality. And there's a clear-cut perception that, oh wow, these are two totally separate, utterly disconnected parts of me. The personality and the comings and goings is like a tiny little splash. You know, like if you're like standing in front of a calm lake on a summer's day, and then you suddenly have a little fish that just goes bloop, and then you know how those ripples just go, and then the lake becomes calm again. It's really like that. All your dramas and entertainments and, oh my God, the boss did this to me and she did this to me and he did this to me and I hate myself, I love myself, I'm so happy I won the lottery and I am so in love with her and love with him and that actress is so amazing, blah, blah. All the comings and goings, they're like a tiny little splash contained within the pool, the lake of your inner silence. Now again, reminding you that this assumes you have accrued enough inner silence. You are a millionaire in inner silence first, before all this can even happen. So in a sense, I'm giving you a little bit of an advanced idea, but there's just something to be aware of where you're headed with it. What to expect out of a petty tyrant, what to expect a petty tyrant to do for you, what gift he can give you. So remember, if you know what to do with a petty tyrant, this is for you. Employ your strategy as a warrior to gain this for yourself. See very clearly, the petty tyrant will make you see, it'll have that effect on you. It'll make you see very clearly, oh my God, all my thinkings and my comings and goings and my doings have got nothing to do with this inner lake of awareness, of presence, of inner silence that I have within me. They are two very, very different parts of my system, my mechanic. I've been meaning to do just 10-minute videos lately, but they have been going on and on previously. So let me know if you are happy with the 10-minute format. I will condense these topics and present them to you. If you're happy for me to explain them in a bit more detail, absolutely, let me know in the comments. And I'll be happy to just talk a bit more about them, because there's so much to the Toltec knowledge, and it's all in the basics. It's not in meeting your allies and having amazing adventures with the mirror and power plants and blah, blah, blah. It's all in the basics. How impeccable. How impeccable. Do we even know what impeccability really is? Or are we just acting out fantasies of our mind about these things? Do we even know how to cultivate inner silence? What is presence? What is being present in this moment? I can assure you, I've met very, very few people in my life And the kind of profession I'm in, the entertainment business, I can assure you, I go through a lot of phases. I can't even remember if I've met anyone who really actually understands what simply being present actually means, right? So it is that rare. The basics are that important. And I would like you guys to really start from the basics. Remember this. If you don't get the basics right, you have I said this before in another video, you have no business trying to shift your assemblage point, trying to access other realms and allies and all this magical, esoteric magic stuff that actually is functionally useless anyway. It's not going to do you any good. Either you'll get eaten alive by the predator, or you'll be just deluded. And I've met a lot of deluded people in this journey. You're like, oh yeah, I have my double and my triple and this and that, and they tall claims, big claims, and I'm just laughing to myself going, wow, man, the delusion is strong with this one. So guys, I want you to start with the basics. I want you to concentrate, focus on the basics. Keep your eyes on the prize. Don't get distracted. And train yourself. Spend years training the basics. And I promise you, you'll be the better for it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video. And I shall see you in the next one. Walk in freedom. Bye for now.